What we're looking at today is another low-tech, easily planned attack on a very vulnerable target. It was even, as we've just been discussing, carried out by someone who was wearing an electronic tag, so he could be monitored by police. How can France possibly defend itself against attacks like this?
Well, let me begin with this. What the government is failing to see is that they're dealing with a cultural civil risk that's highly toxic in nature and can come at a huge humanitarian crisis in the future. These risks and these problems that we are seeing is more than just a basic attacks. And there's a huge danger that this problems is not seen and combated from the correct perspective based on the analytical view they have on the information.
How would you propose the French state do things differently then? We're currently under a state of emergency, one that has been repeatedly prolonged. What is the government doing wrong?
The first thing that should be priority, which is not, is understanding the problem itself. And the problem itself, it is a little bit bigger than an ordinary basic problem. It is not the 1980s when we saw terrorism, and it's not the 1990s when we saw terrorism in the US happening in Africa. This is a different form of terrorism. And the problem with this terrorism activities that we are witnessing, that there are a combination of many factors. And there are one of the primary factors is a issue that relates to perception. They have to get to understand what they're dealing with. And this is the biggest problem. Until they understand what type of threat they're dealing with,
in what way do
these threats is a problem.
In what way do they not understand the threat they're dealing with?
Well, let me explain to you. This is, first of all, your planning, your incident planning, your CERT planning, the way that the structure is working, the way the retaliation is working. There's so many fundamental issues here involved. And we are seeing this day by day that these errors is getting bigger and bigger. And I'm very surprised that they haven't followed the route that NATO suggested already 2 years ago of understanding the risk of this problem coming. And what is they have to understand here is this is an issue that could rapidly escalate. We've seen in France, your minister recently warned about the possibility of a civil risk. This is real danger, and this is a danger that I don't think they get yet.